Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our review and quiz on Nehemiah 7. Let's go ahead and review a little bit of how we got here so far. So we know our main character, Nehemiah, was a cupbearer in Jerusalem, where he heard about it being in ruins and decided to do something about it. He had some personal challenges there.
Just click over your mouse.
And then we have the second part where he gets ready to go. There's some political challenges. He has to show some leadership and administrate everything correctly. Then he faces, of course, some opposition and he feels somewhat discouraged. There's also conflict going on. Then we have there's some false prophets saying things. They're trying to distract him from the work. And so we have some questions here that we're gonna go around. Brandon, you have a question.
We're going around in order, buddy.
Never mind.
What?
Are you asking the question?
I'm not asking the question yet because the first person to go, the first two questions are the easiest ones. So to be fair, the first person that tells me what song I'm humming is gonna be the first one to answer. Okay?
Do we
It's
get
a
multiple guests
Christmas
or one
song.
song?
It's a Christmas
You get one
song.
guest or multiple guests?
What is that? You're supposed to guess.
Oh, stop!
Mama,
Santa Claus.
Mama, where's Santa Claus? Where's Santa Claus?
Meet you. Mamacita, ¿dónde está Santa Claus? Very good. All right, Nina, has the wall been completed?
Yes.
Nina goes into the wheel of circle.
Mamacita.
The answer is yes, and it only took 52 days.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, so the next person is Rene. And where did Tanya go?
I don't know.
All right,
She drinks a
Rene,
lot of water today.
were the doors in place?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Rene goes into the wheel.
Wow. Very true.
Those were the first easy
They
two,
were
then
easy.
they're not gonna be so easy.
Oh.
Jim, you ready? Is he there?
Next
Can you see him?
I don't see.
Only you'll be able to see him over there.
Oh, there. Jim, can you?
Oh, he's
unmute?
driving.
Oh, are you driving?
Yeah.
All right, how about you, Hannah?
Yeah, what's the question?
Okay, the question is,
You gotta click the screen now again. No, click the slideshow.
Yeah. There you go.
what 3 jobs were appointed right away?
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I can't name all 3.
All right, so then we're gonna go to Brandon.
Guards, guards, priests, and the cooks.
No, Jonathan.
It's gatekeepers,
Uh-huh.
musicians,
Uh-huh.
and he gave 2 and the guy who's in charge of it all.
No, Joel.
Gatekeeper musicians and no.
Eddie.
In 2 days, the cook.
Nope. Wow.
The gatekeeper,
Uh-huh,
the musician,
uh-huh.
and the administrator of the.
The priests.
And the Levites. Good
The
job,
Levites.
Nina. She was waiting. She knew
That's their
that.
job,
She was
it's
like,
called Levites?
yeah.
Yeah, but they're the priests.
Oh, yeah.
The priests, the guards, and
Only tribal.
All right, you ready, Nana?
Yes.
I know, but it just says
Why you
Levites.
Who did Nehemiah
You
put
need
in
extra
charge?
knowledge to
Who
know
did
that.
Nehemiah put in charge?
governor?
So the
The
priests.
governor, his name,
The priests,
governor, his
Levites are
brother,
the
and
priests.
the commander of the armed forces was Hanani.
I was.
I mean,
Hanani?
no, I mean,
Musician.
Hanani was his brother, and the commander of the armed forces was
What?
The 2 people he put in charge.
Oh, I know.
I know it.
Wait,
Hanani is his brother, and Hanaya.
Nah, yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
Good job, Renee gets a
They're the
wheel of
only
names.
ones that have.
So Nina got another one, and then it was Renee, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so
Anna,
yeah,
you
they're the
ready?
only ones on the wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did he choose Hananiah?
Oh,
Because he was a man of integrity.
yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
The commander of the citadel and feared God more than most.
Yeah.
Good job. Hannah gets a point.
Yeah,
Brandon, you ready?
sure.
When are the gates to be opened?
When the sun's hot.
Whoa! He knew that one right
I
away.
knew that was gonna use term.
You
I
ready?
said it before.
It's hot
Every
outside.
city residents were appointed to do what job?
Guards.
Very good. Guards at the post and near their own houses. Nice. Joel, you ready? How many people and houses were in Jerusalem at this time?
How close did he have to get?
Oh my God.
It doesn't give a
People like
number.
41,000.
There is a number.
Yeah, there's.
Late.
I know that 53,000
It's
family
not a
retain.
number.
It's
How
not
many
really-
people and houses were in Jerusalem at this time?
Oh.
At this time.
Ah.
12.
No?
It's not a number,
No,
she
the
said.
the chomping at the bed. Wait. Rafael goes.
Many.
Nope.
No many.
Very good, Nina. Few people and no houses, it says. You ready, honey?
Yeah.
No many.
Without family records, you were excluded from what?
From being on the list of the temple.
No.
No.
Anyone could be a
Hannah?
multiple.
Priesthood.
Priesthood is correct.
And I get 2 points.
Yeah,
All right, Brandon, you ready?
yeah, 43,000.
Which were the most
Oh,
numerous? The horses, the mules, the camels, or the donkeys?
I'll go horses.
Horses is incorrect. Jonathan, where were there more of?
Camels.
No, Joel.
Donkeys.
Donkeys is correct.
I was gonna go with the donkey, no matter what.
Yeah.
Remember
I wrote donkeys. so
Okay, Eddie.
Remember when you got the credit card with a
Who gave
donkey
him
on it?
1,000 derricks of gold? Who gave him 1,000 derricks of gold to help with the rebuilding?
The king.
Not the king, Ralph?
The priest.
No,
Not the priest,
the
Nina.
owner of the house.
Who?
The owner of the house.
No,
Oh.
Renee?
Hananiah.
No, Hannah?
I'm not sure.
Brandon?
I don't know.
Jonathan?
Hananiah.
No.
No.
The governor is correct, Joel. All the way
What's the
from
governor?
behind.
What's his name?
I don't
His
know.
brother Hanani.
And that's it for the
Wait, that's what I
question.
just said.
Yeah.
Isn't the governor Hanani?
Mm-mm.
No, you
The
say
governor-
No, he said added the citadel.
Oh, yes, yes,
Don't
yes.
get it confused.
So
Yeah.
the governor doesn't have a name?
The governor doesn't have a name. He's over there in
Oh, he gave his brother the governor of Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Jesse. Yeah, you contradict yourself because his brother was the
Appointed.
governor of.
Oh, I know what.
Yeah.
governor.
What was the
They
name?
sent the governor there.
Ah.
Don't your brother has a whole separate person?
Yeah.
So his brother was not his governor, the governor
No,
of
It just
Jerusalem?
says,
Oh,
it just
shoot.
says I put in charge
In
of Jerusalem,
charge.
my brother.
yeah.
Guess it doesn't say he's the governor.
All right. So let's review now before we do the spin here.
Wait a second. Who got the answer correct that was involving guards?
No
It
one.
was after I got it.
Somebody got it.
I got
Jonathan, I
guards,
think,
yeah.
yeah.
What are the people? What are their jobs?
Yeah, yeah,
What are
yeah.
common people?
Okay,
All right, don't spin it yet.
I have it.
All right, so let's review now. The walls were finished in 52 days. What now? Why were they built? Of course, you need physical need of protection. You need spiritual need for worship safely. You need a place so you can teach and grow. And it's interesting to me that they listed musicians as an important thing. Why would anybody?
They even listed how many singers.
You guys say cooks, you would think cooks are more important, right, than musicians, but they weren't mentioned specifically. Why do you think that?
For the
Anybody?
temple, they need it for the temple.
Yeah.
For the temple,
worship.
yeah, it's part
They
of the
have it
ceremony.
2000 something.
It's an important part. Music is an important part even for us today. Bible, do you know in math, what does the word permutation mean?
So what is it? Emma?
Mm-hmm. It's
A
a
permutation is
multiplication
like-
word.
I'm gonna describe it to you.
To
Let's
fill
say-
it, to fill it?
Let's say if you have 10 people and you need to decide someone to go first, someone to go second, go to the third, someone to go fourth. a permutation, or if you did calculate the permutation, is how many ways you can order the people,
The people.
like people in a line, let's say.
Yeah, so he did this, he already said, kind of like, I'm done with my work, I have to have new leadership ready to go right now. And so what he did is he assigned 2 other people to help, right? And that's how real leaders are. They have to have a succession plan, or they could go ahead and hand it over when they're done with their part of the work. So he was not afraid of losing power like so many people today are.
Mhm.
All right, so he put Hanani and Hananiah, the viceroy of the king of Persia, and Hanani, who was his brother, who had come to Jerusalem, to Babylon before, to tell Nehemiah about what's going on in your in Jerusalem. So it's very important too that the people felt like they were working together. It was their own houses and their own family that they were working for.
Amen.
Okay, so in 4 and 5, we see that there's a potential, so he sees that, and now his goal is to repopulate. Like we saw, there's not that many people there. So he needs peoples to be led with people with a heart of gold, and he has to preserve their history. And he already knows there was 70 years of the captivity where families were torn apart. So this is a big deal. We have to like almost start from scratch again, right? Rebuild our history, rebuild our families. You have to almost start all over again so you can grow. It's very important. And then that we see that also while you build this community, you're going to preserve your faith, right? If people are scattered and they are amongst other people, other Gentiles or whatever, there's more likely that they're not going to continue with their faith. But if they're amongst each other, it will. Very interesting, only 2% of the population of Jerusalem actually made it back. So very
What happened to
few.
the rest?
They were all left, and they,
Mhm.
you know,
They live,
they,
move somewhere else.
generations go by and people build their own houses somewhere, they have their own jobs, they maybe marry with other folks, and they don't come back
They don't
anymore.
wanna go back.
So of over 600,000 people had left, only about 45,000 came back.
But that's not 2%. That's a mistake because 2% is
But-
12,000.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So now we see that it's very important that they be disciplined and pure. They want to make sure that only people with their heritage that they could write is in the priesthood. So you have all these strangers coming through. You can't just have them say whoever, they have to know where they came from so they could be a priesthood. You don't want any kind of what they say contamination. So that's a way to make sure that it was actually 2 Israelites that were coming back to Jerusalem. So that's why when they were asking about that. So I know that
Do the Jews still know what tribes their family
Yes.
come from?
Well, No.
some of them do.
They know that.
no, because the only tribe, Jonathan, is the Judas. That's
Because
why they
we-
call Jews, yes. The other are disappeared. And They we know just all Jonathan.
died?
They don't know where they are.
But we know that the original Jew were no blue eyes like the the Jewish of
They're not
Europeans,
Ashkenazi?
so most likely they might not even be Jew, because the
Wait,
original Jew were
There's
little dark, like
very-
the
No, all of
Muslim.
them, all of them. There is a way that we could know, because now, thanks to DNA, they could test, like, we have 2% of Jewish.
But
Exactly.
the only ones left are from the tribe of Judah?
That we know, yes, for sure. But that's why they call Jews. But
So,
the
yeah,
terminology should be
Jerusalem
Israelite, actually.
is
That's
in the
correct.
area of Judah, is Jerusalem.
Yes.
So, and it was so another thing interesting to me is how it made a sound in the writing that he hung the doors himself, right? He says, I put the doors. I thought that was cool. Like, he also is the leader, but he also puts his muscle into
He
the
did
work.
the word, yes.
Yeah, so I think that was very important. So before where it says there was few people and no houses, you're like, but there were people there fixing the walls, but some of them would travel there, they were outside, there were houses, and maybe they stayed like in stables and things like that, or makeshift shelters. There were no proper houses anymore. That's how much the destruction were. So again, I was surprised about the 52 days. Maybe they should have brought those people over to Route 46 and Alps Road to work because they don't play. They don't play. They had no machines, remember? There's like no scavenging machines, there's no
But they have
caterpillars.
something. They were working to build their own things.
Correct.
People that work today, they're working to build somebody else's stuff.
Mm-hmm,
To be fair, it's not as big as the things we build today too, to be fair.
mm-hmm.
Oh, well, they also had to have spears along with them. You
You
know,
have to be
weapon
ready
ones.
to
Yeah,
fight.
remember, yeah, they had
Yeah.
to like sleep with one eye open, as they say. Wow,
Mhm.
because there were so many things going on. So a little bit about family trees. I read a lot of historical novels, and in the old Chinese culture, like in the mountain people, they call them, they could name they go back. They could name the father, it's like a thing they have too, and they go back centuries naming who was their great, it was just like a thing they did.
And we could appreciate out of that book, the animosity between the Muslim of the Jew is so old, even when the Muslim were not Muslim, I mean, the Arab and the
The
Jew, they have
Kenites,
they have
we
a
can
history
assert the Kenites.
of hating each other, yeah. Exactly, and the
But that's the thing with human, even today. Why are we engaged in this war of killing people when we could have a peace? You know why, guys? It's all about money.
Sí, exactly.
It's all about money. If there is no war, you don't get no money.
Yeah.
If there is no crisis, there is no money. I'm not lying.
Look at Ukraine get,
They don't want peace. in
Ukraine
Ukraine.
get 200 billion like this.
Yeah,
Out of our
it's
tax
money.
money.
It's money. It's all about
Yeah.
money.
World peace
Okay.
isn't profitable.
No,
No, it's not.
So, well, it depends on what's your industry. Okay, your industry, some people, if there's a war, vacation, whatever, there's no more of that, right? Nobody's going to Ukraine for travel, for pleasure anymore,
Mhm.
so that business is shot, but then like people that make
And no one
the
is
guns and things like that, so it all depends on
So,
where your income comes from,
you're
but,
still recording, Jesse.
yes.
Okay.
Just again, you have to have your genealogy to be the priesthood. So this demonstrates that he was still following the rules, and you don't want and even today there's rules that you want to keep continuing to follow. So let's finish up here. So again, we see at the end of the chapter that Nehemiah is generous again, and he wants people to continue giving, not because they have to, because they want to. And it is also important for them to feel like they pitched in. So the governor sent money, and it lists other places money came from, but even the people themselves were putting in, not only working, but contributing from their pocket. So that makes them feel more part of it. So in the summary, there is a trying now to return to normalcy after the chaos, right? He knows that leadership must go on, so he sets up 2 new leaders. He makes sure they're safe. There's actual singing and celebration because now you did a good job and you feel good. There's principles and customs that you continue to uphold. There's family history that needs to be preserved. And there's also growth possibilities and expansion. As a lot of people come back, there's gonna be more livelihood, and people are gonna feel better about it. And at the very end, of course, he says, don't forget about charity. So many points in this. This is a small chapter, and most of the chapter we didn't even study because it just lists the families that came back.
Mhm.
But there is so much to learn from here. It's amazing. So in this case, chapter 7 is called the Renewal Challenge. Anyone have any questions?
Was the wall ever, that the enemy was able to get through the wall ever? Or
At this time, no,
no? Okay.
but later on, we know a lot of things happen. But for now,
It was
it's
there.
quiet. For now, it is quiet. Okay, so I'm gonna stop the recording.